Hi, in this video we will see how we can install the macOS on our existing Windows computer, and we'll use this macOS operating system as a virtual computer of our Windows. It's very straightforward and very easy. This is the easiest option so far I know, and anybody can install the macOS on their Windows computer if they follow all the steps. You have to watch the entire video and then you can start one by one. The video is a little bit lengthy, but macOS is always very complicated and it's not easy to install. And here you are seeing on my screen, after following the instruction, you will find this type of Mac environment on your Windows computer. So enough talking, let's see whether we are able to do this thing or not. But again, I'm telling you, so you have to follow the entire steps. If you miss any step, you cannot do this thing. So watch the entire video before you start installing macOS on your Windows computer as a virtual computer like that. So my recommendation is just watch the entire video and then do one by one. And I'll give you all the links whichever you need to install this macOS on your Windows computer. You will find those links on the video description below. So let's see how we can easily install the macOS on our Windows computer. At first we need to open the command prompt as admin mode. So I'm going to click search and then typing cmd, and once command prompt is there, right click on top of it and then choose run as administrator, and the command prompt window will be opened as administrator. We have to press yes button to agree or to open it, and then we'll find this type of thing. So here we need to type on command, which is WSL space dash dash install, and then we have to hit the enter key of our keyboard. Once we hit the enter key, then it will install some virtual environment. It is actually creating a Unix or Linux environment on our Windows computer. So we need to wait till it is finished. It will take some time. So far I saw for like very old computer it takes like 3 to 4 minutes. For new computer it is taking less than 1 minute. And once it is installed successfully, you need to reboot your system. If you don't reboot, it will not work. So you must have to reboot the system so that the system will work properly. So when it asked me to restart the computer, I just restarted, and after restarting the computer, we are seeing like this. Here, this is the message like Ubuntu is already installed, something like that. Installing this may take few minutes, something like that. It will give you some message. You have to wait till it asks you to give a username and password. We just need to manually type a username and password, and this password or username is not same like your Windows username and password. You can create your own username and password over here. So I'm going to type a username like FewSteps, like my channel name, and then I'm going to type a strong password, or you can use easy password, whatever you want. You just need to enter, and then again you need to retype the password, and once the password matched, it will show you that password updated successfully. We have to wait few more seconds because the command prompt is still not came. We just need to wait till the command prompt it appeared. I mean this prompt, because we need to type other commands also. We are just getting ready. So in this way we can install the WSL on our Windows computer, which basically it is opening another virtual environment for Ubuntu, and inside it basically we are going to install the macOS. So that's it for now. Now let's see how we can install the macOS on this virtual computer. One other thing I forgot to mention. So sometimes we may need to update this environment. So at the time we need to type some command like sudo and then update, like this sudo, then you have to put a space and apt, then a space update, and then we have to hit enter key of our keyboard, and it will ask us the password. So we have to put the same password because we are going to update, and it will start updating the whole system, I mean this environment, before we start installation. And once it is done, then we will get this type of confirmation it's completed or done, and then it will blink like this type of command prompt again, so that we can start typing our next command to start the installation. I am going to open on browser, any browser is fine, and then I am going to google.com and start typing some text like OSX space kvm and this space github, and we'll get this link. We just need to access this link, and if we scroll down a little bit of this site, I mean this link OSX kvm, we'll find there are a couple of commands, and here there is a description what it is basically doing. So here basically we have to come to this part, installation preparation, something like that. We have to copy this command and then we have to paste it on the command prompt, which basically in this area. So I'm going to paste it here, and then we have to hit the enter key of our keyboard. Once we hit enter key, it will take some time because all those things will be installed one by one. Here one thing I want to mention you, if your system is like latest system, then all this command when you type all this thing will work. But if your system is like old system, like 5 to 7 years before system, the whole command will not work. So at the time you have to manually split the whole command into smaller parts, and then you have to run one by one. But if your system is new, you don't need to do this thing. If you run the entire command, all the command, it will start executing one by one. So I found this issue like couple of computers when I try to install. Obviously those are old system, so the video which you are watching, this system I purchased last year. So basically it's a very fast system, so that's why it is running very smoothly. But if the system is old system, then you'll find different issues, and the main issue is you cannot run the enter command which we just run here. At the time, what you have to do, you have to do run all each bit of command, like one line you will like each time you will run only one small portion of command. If there is like 10 packages, you have to install 10 times, like that way. So that's it. Let's wait till it finished installation of all the packages. Here we cannot do anything, we just need to keep waiting ourselves, so that once it is finished, then we can start for the next step based on the documentation and all other thing. The commands which I am using, this thing, all commands, I will put in the video description below. There will be a link. If you click there, or if you go through that link, you can directly go to that site page, and from there you can copy paste all the links and you can run one by one. But if you don't want to go to the link, that is fine also. Just pause the video and then take a note of those commands, and then when you run the installation, you can run one by one. So here we are seeing that everything is installed fine and there is no issue for my case. As I told you, if the system is new, then you will not find any issue, but for old system there will be some issue. At the time you have to run on small command, line by line, by bit by bit, basically not line by line, bit by bit you have to complete all the installation. Now let's see the next step. So I'm going to jump to that browser because here we don't need any anymore. So here if we increase the size of this window, this is the next part. Here we need to run another 3 lines of command. So this is the command, it will do something. So I'm going to click here to copy the enter command, and then I'm going to paste it here, and then finally we have to hit enter key. It will be very fast, okay, compared to the other step, I mean the previous step. It will be very fast. It's completed. Now again jump to that file. Basically we are typing on command ls, and here we are seeing there are a couple of lines of lines are there. So all these are the related like files which we will use to install our macOS. So all these files are important. Here are a bunch of files, like 20 plus probably. There is there at least 30 plus probably. I'm not sure, I didn't count, but you can count by yourself. We don't need how many files are there, we don't need, but if you want you can do that. Now let's update it, the repository. Okay, so there is some one line of command. We are coming here like the browser window. So this thing we already did completely. So now this part is done, right? So this thing is showing this thing basically after executing we are seeing this thing. Okay, so the next line is the next line. So if we scroll down, it will see, I will see this line. So we just need to copy this line also. So I'm going to select it and copy, or we can copy by clicking over there, and I'm going to paste it over here and then hit enter key of our keyboard, and it will be very fast. Again, it depends on the internet speed or the version which are using, the repository version. Okay, so that is done. Now the next step, KVM may use this type of thing. So we don't, if you want to study, I mean if you want to read the entire line you can do, but I'm not going to read it anymore. So what we have to do, we have to copy this line also, right, the similar way. And here we can click here and this whole line will be copied, and then I'm coming back to this command prompt and I'm going to paste it. And then once we paste it, then we have to hit enter key and it will be very fast. It is executing successful without any error. Now this is the tricky part. So here we are seeing there are two lines are there. One is for Intel computer, and that is for AMD computer. So how you can understand whether you have Intel computer, or I mean Intel processor, or like AMD processor? How do you understand? So for that case, basically we need to click here, search, and then we have to go the system information, and here basically you'll find all the necessary information whichever you need. Here you will find online is there like Intel. So here we are seeing under processor we are seeing Intel. So for your case, if it is Intel, then just use the Intel version of command, otherwise use the AMD version of command. So I'm going to copy the Intel version of this command. So I'm going to select it and then I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to right click and then copy, and then I'm going to come here, and here I just pasted it and it will run smoothly after pressing the enter key. So this is for Intel which I mentioned. Now we have to add this three line. So this three line basically will help us to set up some other thing. So I'm going to copy this thing and then I'm going to paste it. So once we paste it, then we have to hit enter key and then we'll find this type of thing. Now there is another line of command. So fetch macOS installer. So I'm going to copy it and then we'll execute it by pasting it here, and then I'm going to hit enter key. Now it is showing like the version of macOS which is available. So you can choose any version of macOS to install, but here it is showing like the recommendation is like number 6, but you can choose any other option. So all these are the macOS version. Here also we are seeing in the web page these versions are available, but it is showing, let's see, 6 is recommended. So I'm going to use that route. So I'm going to install the number 6, but if you want you can install the other version also. So just type 6 and then hit enter key or return key of your keyboard, and here you will see that it is going to download this much file from internet, and once it's done, then it will coming back to the main prompt. So here we are done. So it basically convert the image file, right? So now, not image file, basically now we need to convert it to image file from that DMG file to image file. So here is the command. We are going to copy the entire line of this command, and then we are coming back to this command prompt again. I'm going to paste it and then we are going to hit enter key. Here it is basically what it is doing, it is converting DMG file to image file, and it will take some time like 30-40 seconds, and after that we'll find the confirmation message like archive successfully decompressed as base system.image file. Now this is done. Now we are almost complete. Then there is another command. So create a virtual hard HDD image. We just need to do this thing. This step is remaining before we run the installation. So this is the last step. So after that there is no step basically. I mean you need to get ready the system, right? So this is the last step. I'm going to copy this thing and then I'm jumping to the command prompt and I'm going to paste it, and here it is showing it's successfully executed successfully. So till now basically these all commands are the like pre-installation step. We are now ready to start our installation. Now there is nothing remaining, so we'll use this command. This is the command which we'll use to install the macOS. And here we are seeing this is the command. Here they also mentioned like this thing, and also they mentioned some other thing also, but we don't need to care about this thing. So initially if you try to copy it and if you try to run it, you'll face some error. So just I'm showing you. So see here, you try to run it and it's showing like could not access, like access denied, permission denied, right? So do you understand what type of mistake you are doing? So basically you need to run it with your sudo command. Okay, so we didn't type, we just trying to execute this line of command. That's why we are getting this error. In basically in Linux environment, we have to type the sudo and then we have to run that shell script. So let's try to do this thing and let's see whether we are able to start the installation or not. So I'm going to copy this thing again, and then I'm coming back to this command prompt. Oh, I did mistake again. Yes. So how do we need to do? We have to type sudo sudo, and then after that we have to type that command which you copied from there, and then hit enter key, and very soon you will see this type of window will be appeared. Here it will ask you or give you option to install there. So we have to choose from here. We have to choose like which hard disk we want to install. So the middle one, which it means macOS base system, like this. So we need to move our cursor over there. We can use our keyboard arrow button, or we can click here. Sometimes if we click here, this will not work. At the time we have to press the arrow button and it will select it. Once you selected it, we have to press the enter button and then it will do some magic. Don't close this window, it will take some time, like 3 minutes to 5 minutes. It depends on the computer speed or something like that. So once it is finished, then we'll be prompted like this type of screen. So here we are seeing that Apple logo is presenting like that, and it is loading something like that, and very shortly we'll see like this type of screen where there are a couple of options are there. First one is the restore, recovery. Second one is reinstall macOS and some other option. So there are a couple of options are there. Our target was to install the macOS from fresh install, right? So the first three option is not workable for me. We have to choose this one, and then we have to press the continue button. After choosing the disk utility, will be reached in this page. So this is the disk utility, and here there are three options are there. First one, second one, third one, and here if we click the first one, we'll see that 274 gigabytes. So this is the virtual hard drives which we created, right? So we'll install the macOS in this hard disk. So how we can do this thing? At first we need to definitely format it. We can press this erase button and then we can format it, and then we can install the macOS like that way, right? And there might be some other option, but we are not going too much details of those things. Our intention is to make it very easy. So now we have to come back this disk utility. So this is very important. Remember, it is very important. So from this disk utility, we have to choose the hard disk, and then we have to press this button. Excuse me. Yes, and then we have to type the name, then format and schema. So I'm typing, my name is like FewSteps. You can choose your own name or whatever you want. The format you don't need to change, and the other also you don't need to change. Now click on erase button. So what it will do, it will erase the entire virtual disk, virtual hard drive, right? And after that it is giving me this type of option. So if you want to see the detail, you can check. Otherwise you can press this done button to close this thing. After that means the erase of this entire hard disk is done. Now we can close this thing to go back to the next step. Here basically we don't need to do any other thing, so I'm going to close this window, and once I close this window, we have to go to the next step of the macOS installation. Guys, this is a little bit lengthy, I know, but macOS is not easy to install, you know that. We have lot of option, many people they're posting tutorial, so many things, but so far I saw or I found this is the easiest approach or method you can install. So you have to spend some time. So let's see. the other hard disk is very fine. So basically after the format it is this thing is coming FewSteps, right? This hard disk. Now I'm going to close this thing, and then everything is fine. Then we have to choose this option, reinstall. Okay, then we have to press the continue button. Once we press the continue button, it will give us this option, this menu, and there is a button continue, and it will take some time. I'm telling you, it will take like couple of hours, more than 1 hour it will take. And let's see how many hours it shows to complete this thing. So once we press this continue button, it is running some background processes. I'm waiting for the next menu to be appeared here so that we can go to the next step. So I don't know how many minutes it will take. It will take like probably 1 minute. Oh, it's fast, right? So now we have to press this agree button to continue the installation, and again we have to type agree button, because if we disagree we cannot do anything. Now we are seeing our hard disk, right? FewSteps. This is the hard disk who is just formatted after erasing, right? And this is different folder. We don't need that folder, so we have to choose it by selecting or clicking here, and then there is two button. We have to press this continue button. Once you press continue button, you will see this type of window, and here it is showing about 2 hours and 17 minutes remaining, right? So I told you it will take more than an hour, so it is showing 2 hours, right? So let's see how soon it will be finished. It is showing 2 hours. Definitely it will take more than that, I think so. So now it is showing less minute, 45 minutes, so it's not true. So it will complete within 40 minutes like for this case, but there is some other background processes which will take more time. So in total basically it will take like more than 1 hour, I think so. So let's see whether we are able to complete it within 45 minutes, and if we can, then we are lucky. Otherwise we have to keep waiting. So I'm going to fast forward this video, and then when we have to do some other thing, at that time I will come back. So I'm going to fast forward this video now. And once this is done, I mean once the installation is done, this part basically it will reboot, and you will see like this type of window. And after a few minutes basically it will continue like couple of minutes, and after that you will see a Apple logo, something like that. That means still you have to wait. So here we are seeing still it is taking another like couple of minutes. You don't need to do anything. You can keep silent, and then you can come back when the installation asks you the next step to do. Now when it prompts this type of thing, we have to click here, and then we have to hit enter key so that we can go to the next step. We definitely have to use this one, otherwise you will get error. You have to use your own username, right, like that way. Okay, I put my username like FewSteps, that's why I'm using macOS this one, the hard disk. Don't use any other thing. So now the Apple logo is here. Almost we are almost ready to set up our macOS. It is taking some time still, we are seeing, but most of the thing is done already. Right now we just need to put our username, password, something like yes. It's done, right? It is showing new screen, and here it will bring the country, select a country. We need to choose a country to it is the common thing, right? Any OS, for any OS installation, you just need to, after installation is done basically, you need to set the country and then location, something like that. You must have to choose this thing, right? So I'm going to choose one of the country. You will choose your country, but I'm using USA as I am in USA. But if you want to choose some other country, you can also go through this list and then choose that country, whichever you like. If you scroll a little bit at the beginning, basically when you will start installation this macOS, it's a little bit slower. The mouse is not moving properly, but it will be okay after the installation. So from here I'm going to choose United States, as I told you that I am in here, that's why I choose it. And then I'm going to click the continue button. So once I click the continue button, then it will go to the next step. I don't know whether you need to go through all this. Let's see. Then again continue button, just press it. Written and spoken language, English is fine. Then once I press the continue button, then we have to wait for the next screen. We can choose like not now, because I don't need to set up this thing right now. I'm going to do it very fast way, right? So we have to press the continue button again, and this is data and privacy and migration assistant. I don't need to migrate, right? This is a fresh installation of macOS, right? So we don't need Windows or something. I'm going to press this skip now button. So once we press the skip now button, it is asking sign in with Apple ID. So here we can use our existing Apple ID, or we can click here like create new Apple ID, and then after that it will give us all the options. I mean, it will give us all the prompt, but I'm not going to do this thing. I'm going to cancel it because my intention is to set up the macOS as fast as possible. So I'm going to press this OK button because I tried to create the open new account or create a new account, but I skipped it. Now again we have to click this setup letters. So I'm going to skip it. Skip for now. I will do this thing, and then it is asking, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. So I'm going to press the skip button, and once we press the skip button, then it is bringing us the terms and condition. Here we must have to agree, otherwise we cannot continue. I'm going to press the agree button, and then again I have to press the agree button one more time. So once it is done, then let's see what is the next step for this installation. Oh, now it's very fast right now, I see. So we have to type the full name, then account name, then on password, and we need to retype our password. So I'm going to complete all of this information one by one. Like full name, I'm going to type like FewSteps. We can put a step, a space basically, not a step, a space, and then account name, it will copy whatever we put, the full name is fine. Then I'm going to type a strong password for my case because I love a strong password. So I'm going to type a strong password. I will not tell you, but I'm typing my own password. You will type your own strong password, and this password is secret, you know, right? So once we finish the password, now I did mistake, so I'm going to retype it again. So I'm going to type. Okay, yes, I'm done. Now I have to press the continue button. So once I press the continue button, I have to choose on location and something like that. I'm going to disable it because I don't want to share my location or share something. Then after that we need to choose a theme. So right now I am choosing the dark theme, which I love a lot. So I'm going to choose this theme, and if you want to choose other theme, that is fine, you can choose other theme. And I press continue button. So here it is showing like keyboard assistant, something is there. If we press continue button and if we try to do this thing, this is giving me error, so I can ignore it because my keyboard it will work, I know, because for other system also it gave me this type of option which is meaningless, but the keyboard is working fine. So I'm going to close this thing. There is button like back button or close button, whatever you want, you can do this thing. So I'm going to close this thing. Oh, I see the desktop background, it appeared. That is the default background, right, of this version of macOS. Now we are done, right? So once we close this window, basically we are done and we are ready to use our new macOS. Congratulations. So this macOS will start working very smoothly. So let's see if we can use the Safari browser or not, or if something is like some other macOS application is working properly or not. I'm going to open Safari and let's see, we can type some URL like Apple or some other website like Google, and here if we go, then it's working. Okay, so that means the browser is working fine. Now I'm going to close this browser because we didn't need it. I'm going to click the Apple menu and then system information, and here we are seeing that iMac Pro, so everything is there. So this is the processor, this is the memory, everything is there. And if we click more information, it will bring us this menu. From here we can check all the details of this Mac. So here we are seeing this is the hard disk, and if we press the about button, then it will show us everything. So this is the computer name, also 4 GB memory and some hard disk information, everything is there. So that's it guys. In this way we can easily install macOS on our virtual computer. Hopefully by watching this video you are able to do this thing. I mean, you completed the installation of macOS and you can use it as your own Mac. So that's it guys. Thank you for watching the video. Oh, one other thing, I'm going to shut down this macOS, and next time if you want to boot it again, how to do this thing, on the next video I will show you, not this video. So you can subscribe or you can visit my channel again to see that video. Thank you guys for watching the video. See you next.